originated here. This begs the question, how many other valuable plants were lost along with Ethiopia's forests? Today, Ethiopia is mostly remembered for its famines. Will Kenya, with its mere 1.6% of forest cover, also be remembered for her famines? The severity of the situation now requires tough measures to be taken against those few people who, to the detriment of everyone, are destroying Kenya's irreplaceable natural resources. Here on Mount Kenya, people have moved into the forest reserve and have razed the indigenous forest to the ground. Kenya's forests are protected by law, but as we can see, the laws have been largely ignored. Until all Kenyans decide it's to their own benefit to preserve their natural forests, there is no alternative but for the authorities to enforce the laws protecting this essential, life-sustaining resource before it is too late. No one can afford to ignore the realities.
We have, or the communities, or the people of this country, have got the weak point of blaming one another for whatever has happened. But on the bottom line, the poverty, the destruction of our infrastructure, the destruction of our forests, the destruction of our water catchment areas, the destruction of our wild animals has happened because of we, the people. We, the people. And it is the pledge of we, the same people, who should work out and come out, use our energies, not for the destruction of our environment, but for creating whatever is left and for rehabilitating what we have. We know it's a country full of a lot of natural resources. It's a country very rich on whatever is available, and we plead to our people to come out and use what we have for the best of this country. And we shall work out for that.
It is sad that in many areas it has come to this. Fences have had to be erected to prevent people destroying the very natural resources which sustain them. Where conflict arises between wild animals and people, there is good reason to keep them apart. But in reality, fences are as much for keeping animals in as for keeping people out. These children need the national park forest behind the fence to provide them with water in the future. But they'll grow up looking for ways to get through the fence unless their parents replant trees outside to provide their family with timber and firewood. Shouldn't environmental education form an important part of every school curriculum? Africa is losing its forests at a faster rate than any other continent. A greater understanding of the natural processes which keep us alive would create a more secure future for everyone. Unless we all know that we have enough food to eat, water to drink, and oxygen to breathe, we can never feel secure. At just under 5,200 meters, the peaks of Nelion and Batian are the highest points in the country and bring us back to the beginning of the rain cycle. This is Mount Kenya, the mighty water tower where ice forms on the equator and where rivers are born. Below this awesome mountain lies Kenya, a country which we have seen is now severely threatened by lack of water. The responsibility for the environmental security of this country lies not only with the government, but with every single one of its citizens. We have all seen what is happening right across Kenya. We know there is still time to save our indigenous forests and water catchment zones, to plant new trees and to clean up our lakes and rivers. Now it's up to us to act. For if we don't prevent our country running dry, who will?
Up on GRTS is the River Gambia. Next.
That is indispensable for our socio-economic development. Unfortunately, we are not maximizing the utilization of the river for our socio-economic development. The River Gambia is a gold mine.
Bright morning sun is beaming over the city of Banjul. As travelers set on their perennial journey across the River Gambia to the coastal town of Barra. It is a 30-minute journey that many embark on every day, but beyond the two coastal settlements, domestic trade and business are vibrant thanks to the River Gambia, which has been an important source of transportation for people, goods and services. On a daily basis, ferries and locally made canoes ply the various river routes, carrying people on different missions, but the majority are traders transporting merchandise to inland or coastal settlements with sizable populations. The river extends some 700 miles through the entire length of a country bearing the same name. It has its source from the Fouta Djallon Highlands, flowing through Senegal before intersecting with the Atlantic Ocean at Banjul. The River Gambia provides access to some settlements in Senegal and Guinea, with nearly 70% of its surrounding land lying less than 100 meters above sea level.
You can also realize that the river is very important because you would have to cross the River Gambia from either the southern bank or the northern bank if you want to travel from one bank of the Gambia to the other. And we are envisaging to have a bridge across Yulitenda, Bamatenda that would enable free flow of goods and services from the north and the southern bank and from the Gambia to our neighboring country. River Gambia is flowing, that nature is flowing, River Gambia is a flying.
has